We got a huge baseball series in Philly this weekend. The Mets head to Philadelphia, take on the Phillies at the bank. It's going to be an awesome Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You know, the Mets, huge game, huge series. They bounced the Phillies in the playoffs last year, kind of did what the Phillies did to the Braves the previous 2 years. And then the Mets also took the series when these two teams played earlier this year. But there's some hope for the Phillies. They head into this series riding a pretty nice hot streak. They just won 3 out of 4 against the Marlins. That came after sweeping the Blue Jays, which came after winning 2 out of 3 against the Cubs. Now, they were ice cold prior to that. That's baseball. The Mets head into this situation a little bit of an opposite place. They just had a pretty rough series against the Braves, and that's what baseball is all about. Two teams, two rivals. It's going to be awesome. As far as a recap from how we specifically did yesterday, could not get any of our 2 home run predictions to come through. The one day we don't go with Kyle Schwarber. Of course, he hits a home run, but it was nice to get that Christopher Sanchez under his strikeout prop to cash. Felt really good about that one. Felt like it was a really good read. And that's kind of what came to fruition. He had an awesome game, pitched 8 innings, only struck out 4. Felt really good about that one. As for today, got to feel pretty confident in the Phillies. Zach Wheeler on the mound. He mowed down the Mets last year. Of course, it didn't matter because their bullpen blew it, but he himself was awesome. And then an interesting young pitcher on the mound for the Mets, Blade Tidwell, making his second start of the year. His first start was in May. Not bad in that first start. Went a couple innings. But for today, excellent home run conditions in Philly. No matter what source you look at, plus 30%, plus 36% in terms of a positive home run situation in Philly today. So for this video, please check out our favorite MLB home run predictions for Mets versus Phillies. Number 1, going right back to Nick Castellanos, taking him to hit a home run, plus 550 odds at BetMGM. Go to BetMGM, use promo code CROSSING to get started. Looking at the Phillies, it's tough to specifically try and dive into a batter versus pitcher matchup because A, Tidwell is a lot of unknown in general, and B, he might only pitch 3-4 innings. So it's mostly going to be a bullpen game for the Phillies against the Mets. So instead of trying to target a very specific batter versus pitcher situation, just taking batters that are hot at the plate, which is Nick Castellanos. Now, he's only got 1 home run to show for it. He leads the Phillies in total barrels over the last week. He's got 5. Now, remember, he missed a game in that stretch, was taken out early in another game. So from a barrel rate perspective, 26.3%. Now, obviously, tiny sample size, only 7 days, of course, but always nice to see Casty barreling the ball up. Yesterday did not have a great day at the plate, so was never even remotely close to hitting a home run. But we can forgive him for that because if you look at his last 8 days, he's got 8 barrels in his last 8 games heading in to last night. So now it's 8 barrels in 9 games, which is still really, really good. As I mentioned, this is an incredible venue and stadium from a stadium and weather perspective for home runs in Philly. It's going to be sunny. Temperature is going to be in the 80s. Slight winds blowing out of the stadium. So you look at this from a weather perspective. Again, you take multiple sources that kind of track home run percentages and stuff like that. Incredible. Especially because this is already a hitter-friendly park. We all know that the bank is a hitter-friendly park. So really, anything put in the air with a decent amount of power, great opportunity for that to be a home run. Nick Castellanos leads the Phillies in fly ball rate over the last week. Fly ball rate over 50% of the time he's hitting the ball in the air. So I love Nick Castellanos to hit a home run. That's play number 1. Next up, let's go with Brandon Marsh, plus 650 odds to hit a home run. The reason we're going with Marsh, not only did he lead the Phillies in terms of total number of hard hits yesterday, he had 3. Nobody else on the Phillies had more than 2. All 3 of them were just below 100 miles an hour. Generally, when you're looking at hard hits, you want to kind of track stuff for 100 miles an hour or faster. He had 299, 198. He was right there. 2 of those hard hits were put in the air. One was a flyout that was 365 feet. Now, 365 feet, that's not incredible. That would have been a home run in 14 of 30 stadiums, including the Phillies. If he had done what he did yesterday, he would have hit a home run in Philly. The other flyout that he had was actually farther, 375 feet. It was just hit to center field, so it was not going to be a home run in any stadium. But it's nice to see Brandon Marsh both hitting the ball hard and putting some air under it as well. So, it's funny. You look at him at the plate yesterday, 0 for 3. Must have been a rough day at the plate. Literally all 3 of his outs were considered hard hit. Just an unlucky stretch for Marsh. That happens. Prior to yesterday, he had been racking up hits. His last 10 days, 12 days or so since June 8th, batting 400, 567 slugging, 1.008 OPS. Those are phenomenal numbers. Again, small sample size, but that's kind of what baseball is. It's just a bunch of different mini series. Now, Marsh did not hit a home run in that stretch from June 8th till now, despite all the numbers I told you, no home runs. So yeah, there's going to be some risk here. That's why we're getting this at plus 650, right? Of course, there's some risk baked into it. It's a home run. But, in this stretch of games, 3 doubles, 1 triple for Brandon Marsh. So if you wanted to go a little bit safer, I would not blame you. You could go 2+ bases. You could go over hits plus runs plus RBIs. But with such good weather in Philly today, I wanted to go with the home run, especially when you consider the odds. So number 2, Brandon Marsh to hit a home run. And then our third and final home run prediction for the video, give me Bryson Stott to hit a home run plus 725 odds at BetMGM. Now, Nick Castellanos over the last 7 days is one of 2 batters with a fly ball rate above 50% for the Phillies. Guess who's the other one? That would be Bryson Stott. You look at the last 14 days as opposed to the last 7. Guess who leads the Phillies in fly ball rate? That would be Bryson Stott. Fly ball rate of 54.3% over the last 14 days. Plus 725 odds is really good. Now, Stott, no one's going to confuse Stott with Kyle Schwarber or Bryce Harper or any of these traditional power hitters that are on the Phillies. But again, baseball is just a bunch of mini seasons. And the hope here is that we can catch Stott where he kind of goes on a window of a mini home run binge. Home run binge for Stott is like 2 in a week. Home run binge for Schwarber is like 5 in a week. So it's different scales, of course. Schwarber's like plus 230 to hit a home run today. Stott just hit a home run a couple games ago. So again, we're kind of hoping that like 2 home runs in a 7-day span is what we're looking for here. Looking at Stott, his numbers recently, they're not going to put him in the Hall of Fame, but they're not terrible. He's got 2 barrels, 8 hard hits over the last week. Both of those percentages, like barrel rate, hard hit rate, above both his season and his career average. So hitting the ball decently hard recently. Both those barrels also came within the last 4 days, or 4 games. So you look at even a smaller sample size, looks pretty well for Bryson Stott. And, the home run that he hit was hit at the Marlins home stadium. They play in a dome, so you don't get any positive or negative weather situations in Miami. And they have a really, really deep outfield, one of the biggest stadiums in terms of how deep their outfield goes. So if he can hit a home run at the Marlins stadium, he doesn't need to hit the ball as hard. He can just hit the ball in the air with some speed. He could also clear a fence tonight. And that's all we got. 3 home run predictions for you guys to lock in: Nick Castellanos, Brandon Marsh, and Bryson Stott. Make sure to head to BetMGM, use promo code CROSSING to get started on your journey. I appreciate everybody for watching. Make sure to like the video, comment, subscribe. Make sure to bet responsibly, and have a good one. Must be 21 or older in participating states. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See terms and conditions in the description of the video.